how important is this data set?
That's exactly
To anybody who might be interested, I mean, how big an issue would this be?
that's exactly the data set that you can use to open a credit card, a bank account,
Your mother's maiden name.
Yeah.
everything, your
Yeah.
address, your birth date, your children's
Kahit
name,
anong
their
tanungin mo
birth
doon.
date, everything's there. And so, if we do not really address these types of structural defect in government procurement and government contracts, we're in trouble because this is not the first time. You've seen how COMELEC, nangyari dun sa COMELEC. And then before that, LTO, yung mga driver's license, or was it the
Plaka.
vehicle licenses. So it's going to continue, and we have an upcoming national ID project,
Yes.
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So the question now is, can you trust government with your private information?
Okay.
Would you?
Would you?
I think the fact speaks for itself. With all the breaches that has been going on there, historically, I wouldn't trust the government.
But you have no choice.
But you have no choice because
But
they
to
have
give your
they have
data.
the power of compulsion.
Yes.
They compel
Okay.
you to
Yeah.
give it.
We're almost out of time, but would you agree, or if actually you already have? But speak to that if ultimately the national ID system may actually be one of the biggest casualties here.
Yes, it could. Government, I think, is the last entity that that we could expect, at least in our historical perspective, to be entrusted with holding on to so much information, because from the technological perspective, it does not have the organizational capacity to manage it.
Distinct from the technical capacity, we do have the technical capacity, but you're saying there's something wrong with.
No,
You
the procurement, no, we also don't have the technical capacity. Why? How much can you afford to pay these people? I mean, people who handle all this technology by large companies, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, their salaries are much higher than the CEOs or even the cabinet secretaries themselves. Now, your government would expect to pay a pittance for people with those kinds of qualifications. So these people would rather work in the private sector.
Okay.
So you will never have, because you cannot never afford
Okay.
these people.
Okay.
So then you want to run. You want to run the system. You want to run the security, the cyber security system, and all of those. You'll be having people with much less competency.